Earth was at a pivotal point in its history. Decades of scientific progress and technological advancements had placed humanity on the brink of becoming a major interstellar power. However, this rise did not go unnoticed. Across the cosmos, 3 alien warlords, Kranoth of the Drek Empire, Vashar of the Zytral Dominion, and Morvok of the Dion Horde, conspired to eliminate Earth's key figures in science and military strategy. Their plan was simple but diabolical: send assassins to cripple humanity by removing its brightest minds and most skilled warriors. The first wave of assassins struck with devastating precision. Dr. Eliza Mendez, a leading physicist working on quantum teleportation, was found dead in her lab, her research destroyed. Major General Jason Roy, renowned for his strategic genius, was killed in his home under mysterious circumstances. Panic spread as more prominent figures fell victim to the alien assassins, leaving humanity vulnerable. In response, the Human Defense Forces, HDF, initiated a covert operation of their own. They called upon the Hitman, a shadowy figure known for his unmatched skills in stealth, strategy, and combat. His real name was a closely guarded secret, known only to a few in the highest echelons of the HDF. His mission: to hunt down and eliminate the 3 warlords orchestrating the attacks. The news of Dr. Mendez's death reverberated through the halls of the United Earth Command. Her breakthroughs in quantum teleportation were the key to humanity's next leap in space exploration. Commander Scarlett Lawson, head of the HDF, convened an emergency meeting. "We're under attack," she stated, her voice steely with resolve. "The enemy has taken out 2 of our best. We cannot allow this to continue." The room was silent. Faces of seasoned generals and top scientists were etched with worry. Lawson turned to her deputy, Colonel Mark Daniels, a veteran of many conflicts. "Daniels, we need the Hitman. Contact him immediately." Daniels nodded, his expression grim. "I'll make the arrangements." The Hitman was a legend among the HDF, a phantom who appeared when the stakes were highest. His methods were unorthodox, his identity a mystery, but his results were undeniable. A week later, in a secure underground facility, the Hitman received his briefing. The dimly lit room only highlighted the cold efficiency of the HDF's best operatives. A holographic display flickered to life, showing the faces of the 3 alien warlords. "Kranoth of the Drek Empire," began Lawson, pointing to a reptilian visage with menacing eyes. "He's responsible for coordinating the assassination of Dr. Mendez. His stronghold is on Drekker Prime, a fortress world." The image shifted to a sleek, avian figure. "Vashar of the Zytral Dominion. He orchestrated the attack on General Roy. His base is on Zytrilia, heavily guarded and surrounded by a fleet." Finally, a hulking brute with tusks appeared. "Morvok of the Dion Horde. His assassins are likely preparing to strike again. He's on Dion 4, a planet known for its brutal terrain and savage inhabitants." The Hitman studied the holograms intently, his face impassive. "What's the plan?" he asked, his voice a low, calm timbre. Lawson leaned forward. "We need you to eliminate each warlord. You'll start with Kranoth. Infiltrate Drekker Prime, neutralize him, and destabilize their command structure. After that, move on to Vashar and Morvok. We cannot afford any more losses." The Hitman nodded, his mind already working through the details. "I'll need a small team, minimal interference. Stealth is our ally here." Daniels spoke up. "You'll have the best support we can offer, but you'll be on your own inside the enemy territories. We trust your judgment." The Hitman stood, his lean frame exuding quiet confidence. "I'll handle it." As he departed, Lawson watched him go, a mixture of hope and apprehension in her eyes. "Godspeed, Hitman," she murmured. Meanwhile, on Drekker Prime, Kranoth paced within his war room, his mind preoccupied with his latest victory. The death of Dr. Mendez had been a significant blow to humanity. Yet, he knew the humans would retaliate. His spies had reported unusual movements within the HDF ranks. "We must be vigilant," Kranoth hissed to his advisors. "The humans are cunning. They won't take this lying down." His advisor, a drek with scales of dark emerald, nodded. "Our defenses are impenetrable, my lord. No human can breach them." Kranoth's eyes narrowed. "Do not underestimate them. They have warriors unlike any we've faced. Prepare for all contingencies." Back on Earth, the Hitman prepared for his mission, his thoughts focused and precise. Each warlord represented a unique challenge, but he relished the complexity. This was more than just a mission, it was a battle for humanity's future. As the Hitman embarked on his journey, the stakes were clear: failure was not an option. The fate of Earth rested on his shoulders, and he intended to see the mission through, no matter the cost. The night was silent as the Hitman boarded the stealth craft that would take him to Drekker Prime. The ship's engines hummed softly, a promise of the deadly silence he would employ against his targets. With a final nod to his pilot, he settled into the cockpit, his mind already 1,000 miles away, planning every move. Humanity's hope lay in the balance, and the Hitman was ready to tip the scales. The first target was Kranoth, the ruthless leader of the Drek Empire. His stronghold was situated on Gareth Prime, a barren, inhospitable planet with a toxic atmosphere. The Drek thrived in this harsh environment, and Kranoth's fortress was an impenetrable bastion, patrolled by heavily armed guards and surrounded by energy barriers. The Hitman arrived on Gareth Prime under the cover of a violent sandstorm. His suit, equipped with advanced cloaking technology, rendered him nearly invisible. Navigating through the storm, he infiltrated the fortress by hacking into the security systems, creating a temporary disruption that allowed him to slip inside undetected. Inside the fortress, the Hitman moved with calculated precision. He neutralized guards with silent, lethal efficiency, using a combination of hand-to-hand combat and advanced weaponry. Each step he took was deliberate, every action meticulously planned. He planted explosives at strategic points, ensuring that Kranoth's defenses would crumble when the time was right. As he approached Kranoth's throne room, the Hitman activated a holographic decoy, drawing the guards away from their posts. He slipped inside, finding Kranoth surrounded by his elite guard. With a swift, fluid motion, the Hitman launched a barrage of mini-drones that incapacitated the guards with precision shots. Kranoth, a hulking figure with a menacing presence, charged at the Hitman with a roar. But the Hitman was prepared. Using a combination of agility and combat skill, he dodged Kranoth's attacks and delivered a series of crippling blows. Finally, he delivered the killing strike with a hidden blade, ending Kranoth's reign of terror. As the explosives detonated, the Hitman made his escape, leaving behind a fortress in ruins and a decimated Drek leadership. The first warlord had fallen, but two more remained. He disappeared into the storm, a ghost on the barren landscape of Gareth Prime, ready for the challenges that lay ahead. The fall of Kranoth would send shockwaves through the Drek Empire, a prelude to the greater battles yet to come. As the storm raged on, the Hitman's silhouette vanished, leaving behind a legacy of precision and unyielding determination. The next target was Vashar, the cunning leader of the Zytro Dominion. His domain, Zytro V, was a lush, jungle-covered planet with dense foliage and treacherous terrain, an ideal hiding place for a warlord known for his intelligence and paranoia. The Hitman arrived on Zytro V, his camouflaged suit blending seamlessly with the verdant surroundings. He moved silently through the underbrush, evading detection by the Zytro patrols. Guided by tracking devices and intel gathered from previous missions, he navigated the jungle's labyrinthine paths to locate Vashar's hidden compound. The compound, a series of interconnected bunkers, was heavily guarded and booby-trapped. The Hitman devised a series of diversions, setting off controlled explosions in the distance to draw the guards away from their posts. He then infiltrated the compound through an underground tunnel, bypassing the heavily fortified main entrance. Inside, the Hitman encountered a maze of corridors and traps. He disabled security systems and neutralized guards with silent, precise takedowns. His movements were methodical, each step bringing him closer to his target. Finally, he reached Vashar's command center. The room was filled with holographic displays, where Vashar, flanked by his personal guards, coordinated the next wave of attacks on Earth. The Hitman acted swiftly, using a flashbang grenade to disorient the guards. In the ensuing chaos, he engaged Vashar in brutal close-quarters combat. Vashar was agile and fought with ruthless efficiency, but the hitman's superior combat skills soon became evident. Using a combination of feints and precise strikes, he overwhelmed Vashar and delivered a fatal blow. The warlord's body crumpled to the floor, his plans for domination in disarray. With Vashar's death, the hitman extracted valuable intel from the command center. As he worked, he could hear the panicked and disorganized shouts of Zytro forces outside. He uploaded the critical data to his handlers, securing crucial information on the Dominion's operations. The hitman made his escape through the jungle, moving swiftly and silently. The Zytro forces, now leaderless and in disarray, were unable to mount an effective pursuit. He disappeared into the dense foliage, leaving behind confusion and chaos. 2 warlords were down, and only one remained. The hitman's mission was nearing its conclusion, but the final target would undoubtedly be the most challenging. He paused briefly at the edge of the jungle, the weight of his task pressing upon him. The hitman activated his communicator, sending a brief message back to his handlers. Vashar is neutralized. Preparing for the final target. As the jungle swallowed him once more, he felt a surge of determination. Now the final target was Morvok, the fearsome leader of the Dhion horde. His base was on Dhion Prime, a volcanic planet with rivers of lava and a perpetually ash-filled sky. The hitman knew this mission would be the most challenging yet, as Morvok was not only a brilliant tactician but also a formidable warrior. Arriving on Dhion Prime, the hitman donned a heat-resistant suit to navigate the treacherous landscape. The intense heat and sulfuric fumes created a hazardous environment, but he pressed on, driven by the urgent need to protect humanity. Morvok's fortress was a massive citadel built into the side of a volcano. The hitman infiltrated it by scaling its rocky exterior, using advanced climbing gear to avoid detection. He entered through a ventilation shaft, bypassing the heavily guarded main entrance. Inside the fortress, the hitman encountered Morvok's elite guards, genetically enhanced soldiers with advanced weaponry. He used a combination of stealth and combat prowess to take them down, moving swiftly and silently through the fortress's labyrinthine corridors. Reaching the inner sanctum, the hitman found Morvok preparing for battle. The warlord, towering and heavily armored, greeted him with a savage grin. "I have been expecting you, human." The ensuing battle was fierce and intense. Morvok fought with brutal strength, wielding a massive energy blade. The hitman relied on his agility and tactical acumen, using the environment to his advantage. He lured Morvok into a narrow passage, limiting the warlord's movements, and then attacked with a combination of explosives and precise strikes. Despite Morvok's immense strength, the hitman's strategy prevailed. With a final, decisive strike, he brought Morvok to his knees. The warlord's last words were a curse, promising retribution, but the hitman knew that with Morvok's death, the Dhion horde would be thrown into chaos. As the hitman made his way out of the citadel, the volcanic fortress began to crumble. He escaped just as the entire structure collapsed into the molten lava below. The final warlord was defeated, and Earth was safe from the immediate threat. Returning to Earth, the hitman was greeted as a hero. The human defense forces had thwarted the alien conspiracy, thanks to his unparalleled skills and unwavering dedication. However, the hitman knew that vigilance was necessary. As long as there were threats to humanity, he would remain in the shadows, ready to protect his home. The volcanic landscape of Dhion Prime greeted the hitman with searing heat and acrid fumes. Clad in a heat-resistant suit, he advanced with unwavering determination. The jagged terrain was a testament to the planet's harshness, but it did not deter him. His target, Morvok, awaited within a fortress built into the side of a massive volcano. Scaling the fortress's rocky exterior, the hitman used his advanced climbing gear to navigate the treacherous ascent. Every move was calculated, each handhold and foothold chosen with care. The volcanic ash clouded the sky, but his vision remained clear, focused on the mission at hand. Reaching a ventilation shaft, he bypassed the heavily guarded entrance, slipping into the fortress undetected. Inside, the fortress was a maze of corridors and heavily fortified chambers. The hitman moved like a shadow, neutralizing Morvok's elite guards with a combination of stealth and combat prowess. These genetically enhanced soldiers, armed with advanced weaponry, fell silently to his precise strikes and calculated tactics. Approaching the inner sanctum, the Hitman found Morvok preparing for battle. The Warlord's imposing figure stood amidst an array of holographic battle plans. "I have been expecting you, human," Morvok growled, brandishing a massive energy blade. The battle that followed was a test of skill and endurance. Morvok's brutal strength clashed with the Hitman's agility and tactical precision. The Hitman used the environment to his advantage, luring Morvok into confined spaces where the Warlord's movements were restricted. Explosives and precise strikes wore down Morvok's defenses, each hit strategically placed. In a narrow passageway, the Hitman launched his final assault. A series of rapid strikes overwhelmed Morvok, culminating in a decisive blow that brought the Warlord to his knees. Morvok's eyes burned with fury as he spat a final curse, but the Hitman remained resolute. With Morvok's death, the Dryan Horde's leadership was shattered. The fortress began to tremble as the structural integrity failed. The Hitman navigated the collapsing corridors, his path marked by falling debris and rivers of molten lava. He emerged from the fortress just as it succumbed to the volcanic fury, the entire structure collapsing into the fiery depths below. Back on Earth, the Hitman received a hero's welcome. The human defense forces celebrated the end of the alien conspiracy, their gratitude evident in every salute and cheer. Yet, amidst the accolades, the Hitman remained vigilant. He knew that as long as threats to humanity existed, his mission would never truly be complete. In the shadows, he prepared for the future, ready to face any new challenges that might arise. The fall of Morvok was a significant victory, but the galaxy was vast and filled with potential dangers. The Hitman stood as Earth's guardian, ever watchful, ever ready. The mission's end marked a new beginning, a continued promise to protect and defend against all who threatened humanity. And so, the Hitman vanished into the night, a silent sentinel in an ever-changing universe.